What's up, my fellow reefers? Welcome to another episode of Stoned Gaming Reviews, where we don't review games based on numbers, no. Instead, we review them based on strains. Indica games are chill, relaxing. They're a bit of a couch lock. They make you want to sit back and enjoy the graphics, the gameplay, and just, enjoy the scenery. Sativa games are fast-paced, high-focused, and demanding. They need you to smoke and lock in to think ahead of the enemy. Now, hybrid games are a mix of both. You have a little of immersive action, a little bit of relaxation, maybe some base building depending on the game. It's a great experience all around. Today, we're rolling it back to 2007 with The Witcher 1, CD Projekt Red's first RPG. Let's see if this old school fantasy is a banger or if it's some dried out myth. Alright guys, before we hop into the Witcher review, I think we need to change the setting a bit. This seems a little too modern. Ooh, alright guys, it feels like we went back in time. I'm in my new medieval shark lair. Let's smoke up and we're gonna go review the Witcher together. Cheers. Before The Witcher 3 broke gaming, there was The Witcher 1. CD Projekt Red's first game, an adaptation of the Polish fantasy novels, bringing Geralt to life in an RPG full of choices and consequences. The Witcher takes place in a war-torn, morally gray world where humans, elves, and dwarves are constantly at odds. Monsters roam the land kept in check by witchers, mutated monster hunters with supernatural abilities. Political tension is rising between the Kingdom of Temeria, its king Foltest, and secretive factions operating in the shadows. Geralt of Rivia, our protagonist, is a legendary witcher. Problem is, he has amnesia, meaning we experience the world as he discovers it. People know Geralt, but he doesn't know them, leading to some interesting and sometimes very awkward interactions. He's a professional monster hunter, but often gets caught in human conflicts, conspiracies, and moral dilemmas.
Abso-fucking-lutely beautiful.
The main conflict of the game begins at Kaer Morhen, the Witcher stronghold, where Geralt is recovering. A mysterious group called the Salamandra attack, stealing precious Witcher secrets. Now this attack sets the stage for the entire game. Geralt must track down who is behind it and why. Now in the game, you're going to come across multiple factions. They were all in a power struggle. There's the Order of the Flaming Rose, a militant religious group claiming to protect humans, but they have their own sinister agenda. There's the Scoia'tael, rebel elves and dwarves fighting against human oppression, but often using extreme methods. There's the Temerian royal court with King Foltest ruling over the land. The problem is corruption and assassinations plague the kingdom alongside dark magic. There's the Lodge of Sorceresses, which stir up havoc in every kingdom and cause dissent between all of the peaceful nations. That itself is a touchy situation, considering Geralt has a relationship with Triss and Yennefer, both members of the Lodge. Throughout the game, Geralt must decide who to trust, knowing every choice shapes the world. You'll build great relationships with Dandelion the Bard and Zoltan the Dwarf, providing humor and companionship. Hearing all of Dandelion's lies and his tales and the way he uses your greatness to try to get laid is one of the most hilarious parts of the entire story. And you get to see the roots of their friendship and the ways that Dandelion maybe took advantage of Geralt's greatness at first to build his own greatness. Old allies and enemies emerge, even those Geralt himself doesn't remember, although they have a history together. One of the biggest themes in this story is the moral ambiguity of everything. There are no clear good or evil choices. You just have to live with the consequences and learn from those decisions. Is Geralt truly free, or is he bound to a fate he doesn't remember? One of my favorite parts of The Witcher is the constant internal struggle that you get to see between the choice of who is a bigger monster, humans or supernatural monsters that are here against their own will. Next, we're going to break down the combat, because this shit is straight up weird. Forget Witcher 3's fluid swordplay, this is a rhythm-based combat system. You click to attack, wait for a timed prompt, and chain combos. If you click too early or too late, it's gone. You messed up and they're stabbing you in the face. It's slow, clunky, and takes some getting used to, but once it clicks, it actually is pretty nice. It's got a weird charm to it. Learn to click in rhythm. If you have good rhythm, you will do great. If you have bad rhythm, I'm sorry. You've got 3 combat styles. Strong for big armored enemies, slow but hits heavy, fast for quick enemies. Now this one is faster of course, but it's a little weaker. And then there's a group attack for mobs. When you feel like you're overwhelmed, this is what you use, and to be honest, I would find myself using it in just about every situation. Alright, next we're going to talk about alchemy, potions, oils, and bombs. These are all tools that witchers are trained in creating from scratch for survival. Potions enhance Geralt's abilities, but they come at a cost. Every potion adds toxicity, meaning drink too many and you'll get poisoned, or worse. Oils are applied to your blades before combat to deal extra damage against specific enemies. These are essential for tough fights. Bombs are useful for crowd control and status effects, but they're very rare and limited in availability. The key here is the toxicity system. The more potions you drink, the closer you get to overdosing, forcing you to balance buffs with survival. My favorite thing about the potions is the fact that they don't just give you buffs and make you stronger, but they have visual effects, they affect time, and they are very trippy. There are potions that will clear your toxicity, but they are also very rare, so every decision matters. Signs are simple magic abilities that witchers are taught from a young age that are very effective in combat and in life. There's the Ard, a telekinetic blast pushing enemies back, stunning weaker foes, and can even break obstacles. These are great for knocking enemies down to get an instant kill. There's the Igni Blast, launching a burst of flames towards the enemies and burning them in place. This can be really overpowered with upgrades, turning Geralt into a flamethrower. There's the Yrden Magic Trap. This places a magical trap on the ground, immobilizing enemies. This is best against fast-moving creatures that dodge attacks, especially wraiths. Now the most important sign in this game is the Quen. This is a protective shield. It creates a temporary shield absorbing damage. It's life-saving in tough fights, especially against heavy hitters. It in essence buys you a second hit against heavy-hitting foes, like golems. The Axii sign is a mind control for charming enemies and making them fight for you. It is great for unlocking useful dialogue options to manipulate NPCs. Visually, this game has aged fairly poorly. I mean, in the end, it is a 2007 RPG after all. The environments do look fairly decent. They are immersive. It has some good fog in the swamps, but the character models are ugly. They are hard to look at.
This is not okay. This needs to stop now.
And on top of that, you will see the same 3 character models in 50 feet of walking through a town. A few technical things about this game. For one, it does have fairly long loading screens. It definitely doesn't feel proportionate to the map size. Aside from that, the animations are hilariously stiff. The movement is very rough. In the end, CD Projekt Red did push this engine to its absolute limit for the time, so it's hard to complain. For 2007, the lighting, the weather, and the open world still feel very ahead of its time for when you know this came out. Even with the limitations, you can see the DNA of The Witcher 3 started here. Before we hit the verdict, shout out to Mad Reefers Gaming, the home for gamers who love dope glass and even doper vibes. Hit madreefersgaming.com for sick glass pieces, gaming gear, and more. Support the community by grabbing some fire borosilicate American-made glass and help us spread the word on ocean conservation's importance, as well as donate to various causes. Use code SHARK at checkout for 20% off of your next order. My personal experience with The Witcher 1 was amazing. I had a lot of fun. Although the game is clunky, it's fairly easy to get over it when you recognize the decisions you get to make. Your choices actually matter. They make a very big impact on the game. And one thing that's cool is you can actually port your gameplay and choices into the next game. So when you start playing The Witcher 2, when you finish this one, your decisions on who you allow to live and die and what sides you chose to fight for will be remembered in that next playthrough. Alright, my fellow reefers, now for the final verdict on where The Witcher 1 lands. Is it an Indica? I don't think so. Hell no, it is way too stressful making those decisions. I don't think it's a hybrid either. That clicking game is a pain in the ass. If I was to pick, I would pick a Sativa. Between those political decisions and fighting in that stupid rhythm clicking game that keeps you alive, this is definitely a stressful experience where taking a few Blue Dream dabs definitely will help you lock in and not fuck up. If you want to catch me playing The Witcher live, by all means, check out my stream at ThresherShark420 here on YouTube and on Twitch. I've already beaten the first and second game, and I'm halfway through the third right now. I would love it if you stopped by and said hi. Alright, my fellow reefers, stay lifted, stay sharp, and try to stay out of any political drama. Unless you're Geralt, of course. Alright, Thresher Shark out.